Good evening, everyone. This is Avish Jain, and today I'll be taking a session. So before we begin, please go through the disclaimer once. All right. So before we go into the details of today's topics, which are zone marking, order types, and entry types, let's do a quick recap of what we discussed in the last session. That was the price structure. So what are the elements of a price structure? Can everyone please type in? Even short forms will do. Friends, can I get quick replies, please? Am I audible? Because I'm not getting any replies. I was referring to the elements of price structure, not the price per se. So we require three elements, right? Three elements for us to create a price structure. I asked, what are the elements of a price structure? Leg out, base, and leg in. Right. So what all structures can we have? What kind of structures can we have? Yes, see the order, I'll be giving more clarity to that. So leg in, base, and leg out. Perfect. Drop, not drop, rally, drop. It's actually drop, base, drop, rally, base, drop, rally, base, rally, and drop, base, rally. And out of these four, which two are continuation patterns and which two are reversal patterns? Rally base rally and drop base drop are continuation, right? And the remaining two are reversal. Perfect. So to mark any zone, we need three elements. That is the move-in candle, which should be a momentum candle, then a consolidation candle, which should be an indecision candle, and then a move-out candle or the momentum candle, right? So how are we supposed to mark our zones? We need to clearly mark our zones because they are levels from where the price is creating an imbalance and then moving up or down. And to take a trade there, these are high probability levels. So to take a trade there, we should be able to mark it rightly, right? So let's just get into it. First style of marking is the wick to wick marking. So can you see this, that I have marked a drop base rally, that is a demand zone. Okay, I have marked it wick to wick. What I did was in the base, I have covered the highest wick of that base and the lowest wick of that base. Can you see this? I have marked it from here till here. All right. So this becomes, now this is a demand zone. So the price which is close to this level 1248.60 it is close to the current market price because price is going to come down and then move up. So it is more proximal to that current market price. So it is called as the proximal line. Okay, as the name suggests, its proximity is there to the current market price. And then comes the distal line, that is 1223.3. That is the distal line. It is far off from the current market price. So when I'm marking it wick to wick, I'll be marking it from the highest wick of the base to the lowest wick of the base. That is the high and the low that I'm going to cover. Okay, this is called as the wick to wick marking. I'm covering the highest wick and the lowest wick. Now what points can we have? There is a very high chance of getting an entry in such style of marking. There is a very low chance of missing the trade, but at the same time, now you'll be keeping your stop loss below the distal line, right? You'll be taking an entry at the proximal line or few ticks above the proximal line, and you'll be keeping your stop loss below the distal line. So if you're marking it highest wick to the lowest wick, then your risk increases. Your risk increases compared to what? The second style of marking, which is the body to wick. Okay, so here comes the body to wick style of marking. Here, can you see this? That comparatively, there is a 6 rupees difference between the stop loss. I am keeping the stop loss few ticks below the distal line. I am not mathematically telling you anything that what exactly should be your stop loss, because that will come to you by experience only. If the scrip is very much liquid, if the bidder offer difference is not much, then you can keep the stop loss 3 ticks or 4 ticks below the distal line in case of a demand zone, and 3 or 4 ticks above the distal line in case of a supply zone. So stop loss line remains the same, that is the stop loss price remains the same, but the proximal line changes with wick to wick style of marking and body to wick style of marking. So everyone clear with this? How I am differentiating the two? Why my stop loss is decreasing? The point terms of the stop loss is decreasing in case of body to wick style of marking. Can you see this clearly? I have marked it highest body to lowest wick. Chance miss entry in second case. Yes, there is a very high chance that I've clearly mentioned, chance of a missing trade, right? So what may happen is price can come down, it may reverse from this wick itself. It may not come down to the body of that zone. But at the same time, if at all it comes down and gives you entry in the body to wick style of marking, the risk is less comparatively and you'll be making good RR very easily, right? But there is certainly less chance of getting an entry as compared to the wick to wick style of marking in this case. So how I'm marking here is I have a base. Okay, the base is there. Now base color can be anything. It can be red, it can be green. Now in this case it is green. So there the open is below the close. So I'm marking it from the close because I want to cover the complete body, and I'm marking it till the lowest wick. So that is the body to wick style of marking. So even if the color of the candle is red, wherein the close is below the open, still I'm going to mark it from the open of that candle to the lowest wick of that candle. This is in case of a demand zone. Okay, everyone clear with this? This is body to wick style of marking in case of a demand zone. And the proximal line is the line which is closest to the current market price, and distal line is a line which is distant from the current market price. Okay, so price is always up and it is going to come down to your level and then it may move up, right? So let's move on. Now comes the The supply zone marking. How are we going to mark the supply zone? Just opposite of that, I have here rally base drop. This is the move-in candle, consolidation candle or indecision candle, and a move out candle. Okay, move in, consolidation, and move out. 3 elements are there. I need 3 elements to mark a zone. Always there has to be 3 elements to mark a zone. Now this is wick to wick style of marking. So I'm covering the lowest wick of the base and I'm marking it to the highest wick of the base. Okay. So here the same thing happens. There is a very high chance of getting an entry because you are marking the zone wick to wick, and there is a low chance of missing a trade, but at the same time the risk increases. The risk increases in point terms as compared to the what kind of entry, friends? What kind of marking? Body to wick, right? So can you see this? The risk was initially almost 12 to 13 rupees. Now here it is just 5 rupees. So the risk decreased by almost 8 rupees. So if you are looking for a 3:1 trade or a 5:1 trade, here you'll be getting that target very quickly in body to wick style of marking. But at the same time, you need to weigh your pros and cons. If this is a high probability level, then it may just reverse from wick to wick. Okay. Now, how to find out the which probability it has, what kind of probability the zone has? That will be that experience you'll be getting once we go through the program, because there is a lot of concepts that we need to discuss. So just for the sake of understanding, know this, that when there is a high probability of the trade working, then you need to mark it wick to wick, and when there is a less chance of getting the trade in your favor, then you mark it body to wick, because you should be losing point wise less. Okay, and if at all it works in your favor, the ARA should be pocketed very quickly. Okay, so here I'm marking it from lowest body, okay, lowest body to the highest wick. Okay, in case of a demand zone, I was marking it highest body to lowest wick. Now in case of a supply zone, I'm marking it lowest body to the highest wick. Now the color of the candle here also, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. In this case, it is green. Now if it is red, then the close is below the open. Still in that case, I'm going to mark it from the close and I'm going to cover the highest wick. Okay. So I have 3 elements: the move in, consolidation, and then move out. So I'll be focusing on the consolidation candle to mark my zone. Now why am I doing that? Can anyone of you guess? We have covered this elaborately in price structure. Why I'm not covering the move out candle, or why I'm not covering the move in candle? I need to find out the supply demand imbalance, right, on the price chart. So imbalance is happening where? At the base, right? So at the base, I need to mark my zone so that from there the imbalance originated. Okay, it originated from that candle, and I want to be in the trade along with the institutions. So if everyone clear, I'll move on to the next slide. Right, imbalance is in the base. It is also called as the indecision candle. Now there are few exceptions to marking a demand zone and a supply zone. What are those? Now hear this very clearly. If wick of move-in candle or move-out candle at supply zone is above the consolidation candle, or in case of demand zone, move-in or move out wick is below the consolidation candle. So in that case, you need to cover the wick while marking your zone. Now I am talking about the wick of the move in or move out candle. Okay, I have to anyway cover the wick of the base, but if the wick is going beyond the base, in case of a demand zone or a supply zone, the wick of the move in and a move out candle, then I have to cover that as well. In this case, here the rally based drop is there. Now what is happening is the wick is actually, see the structure, I've marked this zone so you may not be able to clearly see this, but the structure is somewhat like this. This is a red, this is a green candle actually. Then you have a base candle, and what is happening is the move out candle is actually opening above the base high and then coming down. Okay, it may or may not have a wick. It may or may not have a wick, but if it is going above the base, I'll have to mark that like this. I'll have to mark that like this. I'll have to cover the body of the base and the highest point from where the third element of price structure came, that is the drop. So that the high of that I need to cover. So that becomes my distal line and this becomes my proximal line. If body of move-in is going beyond the base, then do we consider body of move-in? See, you are talking about a case where this is the scenario, right? This is a rally, base, right? And a drop. So in this case, we are not actually covering the body of the move-in candle, but we are trying to identify the demand supply imbalance, and in doing so, we need to cover the move-in's wick or the place from where the rally stopped. Okay, it went up till that point. Okay, you may or may not have a wick here exactly at this place, but you need to mark it from that extreme level, that is the high of this candle. You need to mark it from the high and you need to cover the body of the base. You're not going to at any time cover the body of the move-in candle or move-out candle. It is just with respect to the base. If any one of those is going up, then you need to cover the high of that. Okay, the high of this candle. If it is going up, we need to cover the high of that, like this. These are only two possibilities. Okay. So this was in case of a supply zone. This was in case of a supply zone. Now this is the case of high of whichever candle is going above the base, you need to cover the high of that. If it is move out candle, then you need to cover the high of that candle. If it is a move in candle, then you need to cover the high of that candle. Now here, can you see this in case of a demand zone? The low of this candle is actually below the low of the base. Can you see this? And then the low of the move out candle is above the low of the base. So you need to mark this zone from the lowest wick of the move-in candle to the body of the base candle. Now majorly when we are marking our zones, majorly we'll be marking it body to wick. Now you may choose to mark it wick to wick or body to wick according to the probability of that zone, how it is falling in place along with other parameters. But in general, we are going to mark it body to wick. So here I need to cover the body of the base and then I'll have to go down because this is the extreme point from where this zone started. It went down till that point and then it moved up. Okay, so this is just in case of reversal structures, because anyway the rally pace, the rally if it is there, then you'll not be marking it from the low of the moving candle and then the base of the body of the base candle, because that will be a too wide zone. Okay, it will be too wide. But if the low of the moving candle is very close to the low of the base in case of a rally base rally, then you can choose to mark it that way. You can mark it like this also. This is a rally candle, this is also a rally candle. So rally base rally also can be marked that way, provided these low of the moving candle and low of the base are very close to each other. Okay, they are very close to each other, only then you are supposed to mark it. If not, let's say this is 5, this is 15, let's say this is 11, the low is 11, then 11 is not very close to 5, so I'm not going to mark it in this fashion. I'm going to mark it like this, body to wick, like this. A wick will be that of the base candle, not of the moving candle, because that is too far. Similarly, when I have drop, base, drop, I'll be marking it from the highest wick of the base candle to the lowest body of the base candle. Now, if this high of the base is very close to the high of the moving candle, okay, then I'll have to cover that as well, otherwise not. Same logic applies here. Okay, now here in this case, the wick of this candle is going above the wick of this candle. So just disregard the color of this candle. Let's say this is a red candle. Okay, so that makes this a rally base drop. So I'll have to mark it from the highest wick of the base candle to the lowest body of the base candle, like this. Alright, if move out wick is above base, then also you'll have to mark it like this. You'll have to cover the highest point in case of a supply zone. If it is above the base, then it is definitely a supply zone. Okay. So, and don't worry, we'll be taking plenty of examples of zone marking. Okay, so I'll be clearing all of your doubts. So are you clear with this much? This is the exception there. All right. Now in this candle, see what happened. Look at this. There was a drop, 2 consolidation candles, and then price gap down. See, there was a gap down. Okay, there was a gap down because price opened here. Gap is always between the close of the previous candle and the open of the current candle. So close happened here, price opened the next day here. So can I say that there was a gap down? The move out deep in demand zone which we have marked, yes. So in this case, the low of the move out candle, is actually below the low of the base candle. So in such cases also, I'll have to mark it from the low of the move out candle to the highest body of the base candle. Now highest body, why I'm saying that? Because you may have multiple base candles. You may have 3 or probably more than that candles. So I'll have to look at the highest body. If this is a rally base rally, then I'll be marking it from the highest point, highest body to the lowest wick of the base. So when I'm saying base, it may be having more than 1 candle. Okay, there may be 6 base candles as well. Okay, as such, right now we are not quantifying the zones. But we are just discussing about the marking of it. In such demand, there is less imbalance. Yes, with the more base candles, the probability of that zone working, it diminishes. Okay, but we are just trying to understand how to mark our zones. That's it. So in this case, this is an exceptional case. So I'm going to mark it like this. So what is happening is, if I look at the move, okay, what is happening is price is coming down, going up, consolidating, gapping down, and then moving up. Okay, so this is a demand zone because price came down, consolidated, and then moved up. So broadly speaking, this is a demand zone. Price managed to close above the base. Okay, if it is not closing above the base, so that makes it a supply zone. Okay, we are going to disregard the color of the candle of the move out candle. We are going to disregard that. So I'll be taking an example of that as well. What I just mentioned, I'll be taking an example of that. Okay, but when it comes to the marking of that zone, if the move out candle wick is going below the base low, then I'll have to mark it from that low level to the highest body of the base. Now can you see this? This is also the body, but this the highest body is this area, 148.95, not this. I cannot pick and choose which base candle to include for body. I'll have to cover the highest body, which in this case is this one. Okay. So everyone clear with this? मेरी स्क्रीन फुली है, इससे ज्यादा मैं नहीं और जूम इन कर सकता हूं आपके लिए। इससे ज्यादा जूम इन मैं आपको चार्ट्स पे और दिखाऊंगा कि मैं क्या समझाना चाह रहा हूं। मैं चार्ट्स पे आपको बहुत जूम इन करके बताऊंगा, ठीक है? So now comes another exception of zone marking. Okay, another exception of zone marking, which includes the gap. What if after the consolidation candle there is again a gap, and then a consolidation candle again? So is there an imbalance as such? Is there an imbalance? If I'm having a consolidation candle, like in this case, this is a consolidation candle, there is a gap up, then there are two consolidation candles, and then price is again gapping up. So can I call any area here as an imbalance of demand and supply? Okay, so you are confused. Okay, then Pradeep Sharma ji is saying no. Ishwar ji is saying yes, there is a demand. Price is moving up, so there is a demand. Okay, so we can call such levels as imbalance levels, imbalance of demand and supply. Now price is moving up, so it is a demand basically. Now how to mark it? Now we are going to mark it in this manner, because a gap can be considered as an invisible candle. The gap in itself is an invisible candle. Okay, invisible, what kind of a candle? Momentum candle. So gap up is invisible bullish momentum candle. Okay, can be used to mark a demand zone. Gap down is invisible bearish candle. Friends, please give me a quick confirmation if you are able to hear my voice without any interruption. Okay, Gopu Kumar ji, please try to log in again. Okay. So what I just mentioned is the gap in itself is an invisible candle. Now if the price is moving up, okay, if the price is moving up, then that invisible candle's color is green. And if price is moving down, then that invisible candle's color is red. Do we consider it as momentum invisible candle even if the gap is very small? See, we have an elaborate session on gaps. So you're going to understand if the gap, when is the gap closed? Okay, there is a gap if the wicks of the consolidation candle, they are not touching each other. Okay, now here in these cases, like here, this is not touching this wick. The highest wick of this candle is not touching the lowest wick of this candle. Similarly, the highest wick of this candle is not touching the lowest wick of this candle. So we have a gap clearly. Now there is a gap between these two also. Okay, there is a gap between the two. But are we having any consolidation candle? We are just having rally. That invisible candle is also again a rally, momentum invisible green candle, and then a rally again. Okay, so we are going to call the gap to be closed only when they are touching each other wick to wick. Okay, they are touching each other wick to wick. Only then we can call it as the gap to be closed. Okay, and then there is no more an invisible candle. So here I have drop. Okay, drop. This is a consolidation candle that makes it a base. Now what can I call this? What can I call this, which I just drew? Rally. Perfect. Invisible momentum green candle because price is gapping up. Okay, price is gapping up and the wick of that red candle is not touching the wick of this candle. So there is what kind of a zone, friends? What kind of a zone? Drop base rally. Perfect. What about this one? What can we say about this? Rally base rally. This one I'm talking about. Rally, invisible rally candle, two base candles, then again a rally candle. And what about this one? Drop base rally again. And what about this one? This is also a zone, right? Rally base rally. So Hemant ji, are you clear now? आपकी क्वेरी अभी हल हो गई? अभी आप उसे इनविजिबल कैंडल कंसीडर कीजिए. जो भी गैप है, अगर विक टू विक कैंडल्स आपस में टच नहीं कर रही है ना, मैं सिर्फ उन्हीं कैंडल्स की बात कर रहा हूं जो कि इनडिसीजन कैंडल्स हैं, कंसोलिडेशन कैंडल्स हैं, उन्हीं कैंडल्स की बात कर रहा हूं. ये दो कैंडल जो कि मोमेंटम कैंडल है, इनकी बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. सिर्फ दो बेस कैंडल की बात कर रहा हूं, दो कंसोलिडेशन कैंडल की. अगर वो आपस में टच नहीं करती है विक टू विक, तो वहां पे डेफिनेटली एक गैप है. आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस फॉर एवरीवन. सो देयर इज एन इनविजिबल कैंडल and the color of that candle will be decided based on what the price is doing. Is it going up or is it going down? If it is going up, then there is an invisible bullish momentum candle, and if it is going down, then there is an invisible bearish momentum candle. All right. So everyone clear with the gap marking, how to mark zones with gap? And why are we marking zones with gap? Because they are clear and very good demand and supply imbalances. Now, one specific point I want to mention here is we are not going to mark such gap zones below 60 minute. Okay, we are not going to mark such zones below 60 minute. We are just going to include the opening gaps when it comes to the lower time frame. Let's say 15 मिनट पे कोई गैप है, ओके 15 मिनट पे कैंडल गैप अप हुई है या गैप डाउन हुई है और बनाया है उसने एक बेस, तो ओपनिंग वाली कैंडल को मैं ही कंसिडर करूंगा। बाकी बीच में ड्यूरिंग द लाइव ट्रेडिंग सेशन बिटवीन 9:15 to 3:30 बीच में कोई गैप होती है तो उसे मैं गैप प्लस इनविजिबल बुलिश या बेरिश कैंडल वाला कॉन्सेप्ट लगा के नहीं कंसिडर करूंगा। क्या ये बात सभी को समझ आ रही है? Only overnight gaps to be considered on lower time frame. Okay, overnight gaps that is last closing और सुबह की ओपनिंग वाली गैप, मैं लोअर टाइम फ्रेम की बात कर रहा हूं। ओके मैं लोअर टाइम फ्रेम की बात कर रहा हूं, दैट इज बिलो डेली चार्ट। इंट्राडे चार्ट जब आप देखते हैं तो तब वहां पे भी गैप्स रहती है, हर दिन गैप अप गैप डाउन होता है, राइट? तो ओपनिंग गैप्स को ही हम मार्क करेंगे ड्यूरिंग द सेशन, ड्यूरिंग द लाइव ट्रेडिंग सेशन। वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू कंसिडर कैप प्लस इनविजिबल कैंडल कॉन्सेप्ट। Below M, I'm not getting that. Below M, what do you mean by that? Below monthly? Yes, we are going to consider at least till daily. Yes, 60 मिनट के नीचे भी जाएंगे, 60 मिनट के नीचे भी जाएंगे तब भी हमें गैप्स मिल सकती है, पर हम वही गैप कंसिडर करेंगे जो कि ओपनिंग पे फॉर्म हुई है। 9:15 बजे जब प्राइस ओपन होती है तभी की गैप को कंसिडर करेंगे। You meant gap up and gap down only for daily chart. It is applicable for all the time frames. It is applicable for all the time frames. But when it comes to the intraday time frames, I'm just going to consider the opening gaps which are there. Now, I'll go into the chart for you. Okay. What I'm trying to say here is, I'll just open Nifty. Okay, there was a gap, right? Today there was a gap, price gapped up. So today I'm going on to the 5-minute chart. What can I say about these 3 candles or 4 candles? This one, this one, this one and this one. I think this is not a very clear example. Let me just check any other example. Opening key gap. Okay. I got thrown out actually. मैं इंट्राडे टाइम फ्रेम की बात कर रहा हूं। ठीक है, friends, any of you remember any particular stock opening significantly gap up and gap down like that? Infratel. Okay, Infratel. Okay, I'll check Infratel. So here ये देखिए, इधर ये बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है। So what happened here? This is a base candle, right? This is a consolidation candle, the last 5-minute candle. 27th January 2017, last 5-minute candle is a consolidation candle. Everyone agrees to that? Next day, the very next day, there was a gap down. Now, the low of this candle is 353. The high of this candle is 352.95. There is a 5 paisa gap. Okay, even 5 paisa gap we are going to consider. And now what kind of invisible candle am I having here? ये कौन से कलर की इनविजिबल कैंडल होगी मेरे लिए? यहाँ पे रेड, बिकॉज प्राइस इज गैपिंग डाउन. परफेक्ट. और उसके बाद दो बेस कैंडल बने और प्राइस वापस से रैली कर गई. So this is a red candle and then we have what kind of a zone friends? ये किस तरह का जोन है? ड्रॉप बेस रैली. अगर मैं इसको विक टू विक मार्क करता हूं तो क्या मुझे दूसरी कैंडल में एंट्री मिल गई? Right. So this is what I'm referring to. If this gap happened with respect to the last trading session के close को ध्यान में रखते हुए गैप हुई है. अगर बीच में कहीं पे गैप होती है तो मैं उसे नहीं कंसिडर करूंगा इंट्राडे चार्ट के लिए. ओके, बीच में ऐसे गैप्स तो बहुत रेयर रहेगी, लेकिन अगर कभी भी होती है, yes, right, that is a spread gap basically. Yes, that is a spread gap. So बीच में कहीं पे भी गैप होगी तो मैं उसे कंसिडर नहीं करूंगा, क्योंकि वो स्प्रेड गैप है. स्टॉक की इलिक्विडिटी की वजह से वो गैप क्रिएट हुई है और मेरे लिए सिर्फ ओपनिंग गैप्स इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, तो इतना ही मैं समझाना चाह रहा था उससे. सो कमिंग बैक टू द स्लाइड. So this was one example, one exceptional case. Now here, this is Nifty chart again. I may be having multiple gaps, subsequent gaps like this. तो यहाँ पे इनविजिबल कौन से कलर की कैंडल होगी? जब प्राइस को हम यहां से देख रहे हैं तो लेफ्ट में से देख रहे हैं. रेड. क्यों रेड? Why red? Gap down is there, right? So there is a drop, base, और इन दोनों बेस कैंडल्स के बीच में भी गैप है. There is a gap between these two candles as well. So what makes this? What kind of a zone is this? Drop, base, and then what? Price is going up. So drop, base, rally, right? So that there is a rally candle in between. Then after that there is again a consolidation candle, and then there is again a gap up. These two are again consolidation candles. So there is a gap in between there as well. In between them also there is a gap. So that makes it drop, base, rally, base, rally, base, rally. ठीक है, ड्रॉप, बेस, रैली, इनविजिबल रैली, बेस, अगेन इनविजिबल रैली, टू बेस कैंडल्स एंड देन अगेन अ रैली. क्या आप सभी को समझ आ रहा है कि मैं किस तरह से मार्क कर रहा हूं? But you didn't mark as learn us. I did not get that, हेमन जी. मुझे वो चीज समझ नहीं आई, आप क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं? मैंने उसी तरह से ही तो मार्क किया जिस तरह से मैंने अभी आपको बताया. मैंने क्या किया है, ऊपर वाले डिमांड की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. तो बीच में एक इनविजिबल रैली कैंडल है ना, तो वो मेरे लिए मूव इन हो गई. उसके बाद मेरे पास दो कंसोलिडेशन कैंडल है और उसके बाद तो गैप है ही नहीं, क्योंकि विक टू विक टच कर रही है ये कैंडल्स, राइट? तो वो रैली तो है ही अपने आप में. बस मुझे ये इनविजिबल कैंडल कंसिडर करनी है. तो इनविजिबल कैंडल मूव इन भी हो सकती है और मूव आउट भी हो सकती है, राइट? यस, आपको अगर बोलना है तो आप बिल्कुल आप बोलिए, अपने आप को अनम्यूट करके.
आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं?
हाँ जी, बोलिए.
हाँ अभी जी, जो सबसे नीचे वाला कैंडल है रेड कैंडल, जिसे हमने बेस एज ए बेस मार्किंग किया हुआ है,
हाँ,
उसके ऊपर एक और कैंडल है जो गैप अप होकर ओपन हुआ है, राइट?
बराबर।
तो जो ऊपर वाला कैंडल है उसे हम रैली कंसीडर करेंगे, राइट?
उस कैंडल को रैली नहीं कंसीडर करेंगे, दोनों के बीच में एक गैप है, उस गैप को इनविजिबल कैंडल,
गैप प्लस ओनली, ओके, मैं समझ गया आपकी बात।
मतलब वो इनविजिबल कैंडल है, मैं वो बेस कैंडल को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि वो मोमेंटम कैंडल है, वो तो बेस कैंडल ही रहेगा, पर बीच में मैंने मान लिया है कि वो इनविजिबल जो गैप है वो एक्चुअली इनविजिबल ग्रीन कैंडल है, क्योंकि प्राइस ऊपर जा रहा है।
ओके, समझ गया। एक्चुअली मेरा ओटीए का कॉन्सेप्ट जरा मिक्स हो चुका था इसमें, मुझे क्लियर हो गया। थैंक यू।
अभी आपको एकदम अच्छे से आप सारे मार्क कर पाएंगे? जैसे अगर यहाँ पे भी है तो यहाँ पे किस तरह से मार्क करेंगे?
एक सेकंड। हाँ, यहाँ पर इनविजिबल कैंडल है, तो मैं जो रेड वाला कैंडल है उसे एज ए बेस मार्क करूंगा।
ठीक है। कौन सा वाला? ये?
यस, ये बेस, यस।
ठीक है, तो ये
दोनों करूंगा, दोनों।
ठीक है, तो अगर विक टू विक मार्क करना है तो ऐसे मार्क कर सकता हूँ मैं?
यस, बिल्कुल, एकदम करेक्ट, यस।
तो ये कौन सा टाइप का जोन बनेगा?
ये बनेगा रैली बेस रैली।
परफेक्ट, ग्रेट, ठीक है।
थैंक यू। मैं म्यूट कर रहा हूँ। ओके,
ठीक है, ओके। So everyone clear with this style of marking? When we are considering the gaps, when they are not touching each other wick to wick. Wick to wick, if they are touching, then I'll have to include the complete range. Like here, I have all these are base candles. All these are base candles. Okay, they are touching each other wick to wick here in this case. So I'll have to consider that as part of my base only, and I'll be marking it like this. Now, can you see this? The price already rallied from that level. So definitely this was a clear demand supply imbalance, and that is why prices rallied as a reaction to that. Okay. Now here, this is not a base candle. This is not a base candle. So I don't have another zone here. I have another zone just straight up here. Okay, and that is why the price was not able to fall very impulsively. There was some pause there. Rally, base, drop, base, drop. All right. Now, what about this case? What about this area? Can I mark this as my rally, base rally, and this becomes my another zone? Can I have these two zones like these? Can I have these two zones like this? If yes, then why? If no, then why? The red candle is actually filling the gap. Perfect. The wick, they are touching each other. Even the body is touching here. So that completely is part of my base. So the zone marking will be like this. All right, everyone got this? So when I'm considering the gap to be filled, when the candles are touching each other wick to wick, and when they are not touching each other wick to wick, I'm going to mark that, I'm going to consider the gap as an invisible candle, invisible momentum candle, and then I'm going to mark my zones. All right. Consider the gap as an invisible candle, invisible momentum candle, and then I'm going to... Praveen, do you have any query? If everyone is clear, I'll move on. Please give me a confirmation on that. All right. Perfect. Now, in this case, Is there a gap between the two candles? So what kind of a zone am I having here? Drop, base, and what? Rally. Perfect. Perfect. Invisible momentum green candle that makes it drop, base, rally. Perfect. Price moved up. It gapped up. All right. And that is why price took a pause there. Perfect. So now comes the types of entry. Okay. What are the entry types? First one is the aggressive entry type. Why aggressive? Because the zone is marked wick to wick. Now, there is a clear distinction between taking entry and zone marking. Zone marking is where you are marking it body to wick or wick to wick. Okay. And entry is where you're planning to take an entry in that zone. Okay. So here, this is called as the aggressive entry type because the zone is marked wick to wick. Entry is taken at the proximal line on arrival. We'll wait for the test of that zone. Okay, we are not going to jump on the trade. We are patiently going to wait for the test of that zone. It is a high probability entry type. There is a less chance of missing the trade because we are marking it wick to wick, and higher risk as compared to other entry types in this case. And also in case of a wick to wick style of marking, there is less reward to risk ratio. And it is used for touch trading at high conviction levels. If you have other things falling in place, if you have other parameters in confluence with your trade, then you are going to use this kind of an entry. So what does this look like? It looks like this. We are marking this rally base rally wick to wick. This becomes my proximal line and distal line. I'm going to wait for the price to come back to that level patiently, and then I'm going to take an entry when the price touches the zone wick to wick as depicted in this, and then I'm going to be in that trade. This is the aggressive entry type because I'm marking the zone wick to wick. It is aggressive style of taking the trade. You don't want to miss the trade. This is in confluence with other things. It is being supported by higher time frame probably, or any other thing that we are going to discuss more in detail in the upcoming sessions. And that is where you are going to take a wick to wick or aggressive entry. There is a gap at base. Gap at base. I am not seeing any gap. See, gap हम तभी कंसिडर करेंगे जब भी वो विक टू विक टच नहीं कर रही है. यहाँ पे विक टू विक टच कर रही है, राइट? तो गैप तो है ही नहीं. जो मैंने ये रैली बेस रैली मार्क की है, हमें इनसाइड गैप या आउटसाइड गैप से मतलब नहीं है. जनरली ये आउटसाइड गैप ही रहेगी. इनसाइड गैप हुई तो वो विक टू विक टच कर रही है. ये जैसे ये रेड कैंडल है, बेस जो है वो रेड कैंडल है, और दूसरे दिन ओपन का हुआ, ओपन हुआ उसकी रेंज में ये हाई है, ये लो है. ये ग्रीन कैंडल जो बना दूसरे दिन, वो ओपन जो हुआ है वो तो रेंज में ही हुआ है, ये हाई लो के अंदर ही हुआ है. तो ये तो इनसाइड गैप है, ये आउटसाइड गैप नहीं है. लोअर टाइम फ्रेम में हो सकती है पर यहाँ पे तो नहीं है. लोअर टाइम फ्रेम में तो लास्ट कैंडल कंसिडर करेंगे, पर जब भी मैं डेली जोन पे मार्क, डेली चार्ट पे मार्क कर रहा हूँ, तब तो वो मेरे लिए गैप नहीं है, वो तो इनसाइड गैप है. और इनसाइड गैप में तो वो विक टू विक टच कर दिया उसने, तो गैप अप नहीं है. और अगर होता भी, अगर लेट्स से होता भी, तो फिर भी ये तो मोमेंटम कैंडल ही है. मुझे गैप कब कंसिडर करनी है? सिर्फ पेस के लिए, सिर्फ कंसोलिडेशन कैंडल के लिए. अगर मैं माने कि लेट्स से ये इसे आप इरेज कर दें और जैसे ये कैंडल होता गैप अप, तब भी तो ये जोन तो इसी तरह से मार्क होगा क्योंकि ये तो मोमेंटम कैंडल है, राइट? So देखिए यहाँ पे जैसे ये केस कंसिडर करते हैं, ये केस कंसिडर करते हैं। अब मुझे दिख रहा है क्लियरली इस चार्ट पे कि विक टू विक तो दोनों टच कर रहे हैं। क्या आप भी देख पा रहे हैं ये चीज? Is everyone clearly able to see that? I'm referring to this area particularly. These two base candles, they are touching each other wick to wick, right? Everyone agrees to that? So in such cases, if I want to mark a zone body to wick, I'll be marking it in this manner. And in the very next candle, I got an entry in that trade. Okay, I got an entry and price shot up like anything. Right? So when it comes to the aggressive entry type, I'm marking it wick to wick and I'm becoming an aggressive trader there. And I'm doing so because I have high conviction that the trade will work in my favor. Okay. And that is why I'm going to use this kind of entry. So next entry type is the conservative entry type. Conservative entry type is where I'm marking the zones body to wick. Okay, I'm marking the zones body to wick. Entry is at the proximal line. Okay, entry is at the proximal line. When price comes back to that level, body to wick. Okay, there is a less probability of getting an entry because like in this case, can you see this? Price already reacted wick to wick. So if this had been supported by other things, okay, price may not have come back. It must have rallied further up without giving me entry in body to wick style of marking. So I may miss a trade if I'm becoming conservative. But if at all it is giving me entry there, then there is less risk involved as compared to the aggressive entry type, and there is a high reward involved. Right? Similarly, in case of supply zone, I'm taking body to wick entry and I'm doing so only on arrival. I'm waiting patiently for price to arrive into my zone, that is 2876.7, and that is where I'm taking a trade at the proximal line. So entry is exactly precisely taken at 2876.7, or maybe you can place your entry few ticks above your proximal line or few ticks below your proximal line in case of a demand zone and a supply zone respectively. But generally speaking, proximal line is where you take the entry. Proximal line is marked body to wick in this case. Okay, body to wick is 2876.7, and that is where you are going to take the trade. Only on arrival. You are going to patiently wait for the price to arrive at your zone, and then you are going to be in the trade, in the short trade. So, are you understanding the difference between the conservative entry and the aggressive entry? Aggressive entry needs to be taken in confluence with other things. It is an aggressive entry type because of the increase in the stop loss in point terms. Okay, and in conservative entry, the stop loss is reduced because we are taking the zone body to wick. Okay, so everyone clear with these two entry types? Now there is another entry type which is called as the price action entry. Okay, what is price action entry? It will be discussed in the ensuing sessions. Okay, it is an elaborate topic in itself, and we are going to cover that more in detail in the upcoming sessions. But just for your knowledge, there are three entry types. First one is the aggressive entry type, wick to wick. Second one is body to wick, and third one is the price action entry. Now we are going to cover this in the engulf session. All right. So if everyone clear, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. If you are not having any queries. All right. Friends, everyone back from the break? Everyone back, friends? All right. So we have already covered the zone marking, how to mark a zone, and the entry types. Now comes the order types. There are various types of orders through which you can place your trade. Okay. First one is the normal order. Normal order. So there is a zone, let's say rally base rally, a demand zone. So what kind of order are you going to place there, friends? Yes, definitely all our orders will be limit orders because we want to buy the script or the index at specific price point, right? We are retailers. So it is going to be a buy order. Perfect. So buy order, and we are going to be placing all our orders in NST exchange. Let's say this script name is Bharat Finance. So it is placed in cash. So that is why the series is equity EQ. Then we are going to mention the quantity. Okay. We are going to mention the quantity. Now this quantity, how we are going to arrive at this, we are going to discuss that part in the trade plan session. But just for your understanding, let's say I place an order for 100 shares at this price. Now if I'm marking my zone wick to wick, okay, this 683.35 is which level? The level 1 or level 2? Level 1. Why? This is a demand zone, so why I'm placing that? Because I have proximal line here. This is the proximal line, friends, and this is the distal line. So proximal line is where you're going to place this limit price, okay, and you're going to put in the quantity that you want to take a trade for. So this is a normal order, simple order with quantity and price. That's it. Next comes a supply zone. So just opposite of this is a drop base drop. It is a supply zone. So what kind of order are you going to place for that? A sell order, right? So sell order for the same script, okay? Quantity can be anything, 100,000, 10,000, whatever, okay? But this limit price 682.80 is arrived at from this level. This is the proximal line. This is the distal line. So this proximal line is going to be my limit price for the trade. Everyone clear with this? All right. So it is very basic order. You're just simply buying the share or selling it like that. That's it. So you're doing you're doing that in conjunction with your demand and supply. Only if you have a supply zone, then only you're going to place a sell order. Only if you have a demand zone, then you're going to place a buy order. Right? So no high funda in that. Now comes the normal order plus a cover order. We have three elements, right? Entry, stop loss, and target. Right? So normal order, let's say this is a demand zone. This is the proximal line of that. This is the distal line. So this is a demand zone. The normal order will be what? What kind of order? Buy order. Normal buy order. All right. Now a cover order is actually the stop loss order. So the stop loss is going to be few ticks below the distal line, right? So that is going to be what kind of order, friends? You are going long. You need to cover your position if your stop loss is hit. So that becomes the cover sell order. Notice the difference here, friends. Notice the difference. I have put the limit price as 0, and like here I have 0 in my trigger price section. I have put 680 as my trigger price. So this distal line, few ticks below the distal line, is my stop loss order, stop loss line. So that is the trigger price. And the quantity needs to be same. If you are going long in 100, then you need to cover your 100 if your stop loss is hit. Right? So 680 minus 683.39, so that makes it the stop loss 3.9. This from this proximal line to your stop loss line, the zone is 3.9 rupees wide. Why I am placing the 0 here? Why I am placing 0 here is as soon as my stop loss, that is 680 in this case, 680 here is hit, I want to be out of the trade quickly. Okay. Yes, basically you're selling your position at a lower price because that is your stop loss price. So you want to be out of your trade as soon as your stop loss is triggered. So as soon as it is triggered, the quantity that is there in the trade, the 100, it is executed at market. 0 indicates market price. If you're putting 0 here, then that indicates the market price. Now you'll not be able to place a cover order till you place a normal order. Okay, the cover order is only placed after the normal order. Once you get the complete fill, once you get all your shares fill, only then you are supposed to place a cover order. Only then the broker will allow you to place this kind of order, cover sell order. Okay, so how you're going to manage this trade is sometimes what happens is in commodities or sometimes also in futures, the bracket order is not available. So bracket order is not available. So either you can place a profit booking order or stop loss order, either of those two. Okay, so the orders is going to be just the sell order. So it is always wise to place the cover sell order, the stop loss order, as soon as the trade is completely filled, the quantity that you have mentioned, you got your complete quantity. As soon as that, you place your cover sell order in the form of a stop loss order, and you place an alert, a manual alert for your target order. So once the target is achieved, you cancel this cover order and you put that price of the target here and you put 0 here. In the trigger price, you put 0. So once price hit triggered, whichever price is in market will execute if there is a cover order. Yes, exactly, you got it right. So how many of you have noticed the market depth? Bidder offer difference is there, right? Okay. So I'm going to quickly take you to that. So can you see the market depth of this? Okay. Okay, there is no. Wait, let me open. Okay, I was disconnected. Yeah, I got it back. So, are you able to see this? The market depth. Can you see this, friends? So there is bid quantity, bid price, offer quantity, and offer price. Let's say I bought this at 38 rupees. Okay, 38 rupees is my buy price. I am long in this. I bought it at 38 rupees. Let's say my stop loss is 55 paisa. My stop loss is 55 paisa. Okay, so that makes my stop loss 37.45. Right, 38 minus 55 paisa is 37.45. So as soon as the last traded price is 37.45, my stop loss order will go through and it is going to look for the best bid price. Now you're selling here, so you're going to be offering your holding to the best bidder. So best bid price is 37.4. So your trade is going to be executed at market, and this 5 paisa difference is your slippage. It is your slippage. It is cost of trading. Okay, you get positive slippages sometimes, you get negative slippages majority of the times. So this bidder offer difference is going to be included in your stop loss. So let's say you decide a position with keeping in mind 1,000 rupee risk. Okay, you calculate the quantity accordingly. Let's say like in this case the lot size is 10,000, right? So 10,000 and your stop loss is, let's say, 55 paisa. Okay, so 5,500 is your estimated risk in this trade. But how much are you paying here? You're paying 6,000 rupees. You're paying additional 500 rupees, right? So that 500 is actually your slippage, and every time if you place that kind of order, yes, 5 paisa is your slippage. 5 paisa multiplied by the lot size, that is your quantity, that makes it to be 500, right? So 500 का आपको एडिशनल नुकसान लग रहा है, तो वो आप उसे रोक नहीं सकते. आप उसे रोक नहीं सकते क्योंकि आपने कवर ऑर्डर डाला है और आपने मार्केट रेट पे डाला है. ट्रिगर प्राइस आपका 37.45 है, लेकिन जो प्राइस आपने डाला है वो 0 डाला है वहां पे, राइट? तो 0 डाला है तो आपका ट्रेड मार्केट रेट पे एग्जीक्यूट होएगा. जो भी बेस्ट बिडर होएगा वो उसको वो ट्रेड मिल जाएगा, राइट? So coming back to that slide, if you are going long, then you place a normal buy order. Okay, you place a normal buy order and then नहीं, आप इसको चेंज कर सकते हैं, इसको चेंज डेफिनेटली कर सकते हैं. लेट्स से आपको ये मॉडिफाई करना है, ट्रेड आपके फेवर में चल रहा है. ओके, ट्रेड आपने 683.90 पे आपने एंटर किया है, अब तो लेट्स से 690 हो गया है. अब आप चाहते हैं कि 680 से आपका स्टॉप लॉस उठा के 685 कर दें, तो आप बिल्कुल उसको मॉडिफाई कर सकते हैं. आप चाहिए आपकी ऑर्डर बुक में उस पर राइट क्लिक कीजिए और उस पर मॉडिफाई का ऑप्शन आएगा और आप उसको मॉडिफाई कीजिए, तो आप बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं. यस, यू मे स्पीक अप. आप बोलना चाहते हैं तो आप बिल्कुल बोल सकते हैं, आपको अपने आप को अनम्यूट करके.
सर, जो प्राइस एक्शन प्राइस अपन ने 0 डाला है.
हाँ जी,
सेल के अंदर अपने प्राइस के अंदर 0 है. 0 मतलब मार्केट प्राइस,
राइट?
या तो इसको अपन मतलब कुछ वैल्यू नहीं दे सकते. इसको
दे सकते हैं वैल्यू, लेकिन क्या होगा, जैसे सपोज ऐसा मेरे साथ में हुआ है बहुत इनिशियली. जैसे मैंने 680 डाला और मेरा स्टॉप लॉस 680 का ही है, तो 680 मैंने यहाँ पे डाल दिया. ठीक है,
ठीक है.
अब क्या होगा, प्राइस को जंप भी तो कर सकता है. 680 के बजाय वो 679-90 पे ट्रेड करना चालू कर दे, तो आप ट्रेड से बाहर नहीं होंगे, आप बाय में ही खड़े रहेंगे और प्राइस नीचे चला जाता जाएगा.
अच्छा,
तो आपने लॉस बुक नहीं किया, आप तो लॉस और बड़े लॉस में आप आ रहे हैं.
ठीक है, ठीक है.
So hope Anshul, you are also clear with this. If you're placing 680 here, then there is a very high chance that price can simply jump that and continue trading even lower.
जो लास्ट इसमें इस रेंज के लगभग जो आएगा उसमें ये ट्रिगर हो जाएगा.
हाँ.
ओके.
और उसकी जगह अगर आप 680 की जगह लेट्स से आप 679 पुट करते हैं, राइट, तो वो 679 पे एग्जीक्यूट होएगा। तो एडिशनली आप 1 रुपी का क्यों रिस्क ले रहे हैं? आपको तो जो बेस्ट बिडर है, अगर आपने ये बाय किया है, आप सेल कर रहे हैं, तो आप ऑफर कर रहे हैं आपकी क्वांटिटी 100 शेयर्स की आप ऑफर कर रहे हैं, तो बेस्ट बिडर को वो लेनी चाहिए। जो भी बेस्ट बिडर है, जब भी आपको पूरा 100 का फिल मिलेगा, ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि 50 का फिल आपको 679.90 पे मिले और बचे हुए 50 का आपको फिल 679.85 पे मिले। तो दोनों का एवरेज पकड़ के आपको 679.87.5 का पड़ेगा। तो 2.5 पैसे का आपका रिस्क और स्लिपेज बढ़ गया। Does it mean when price will hit once 680 order is not executed, system will find nearby best price? Straight away when your trigger price is hit, the order is placed in the system. It is already placed. As soon as you're placing this cover order, it is automatically transmitted to the exchange. Okay, as soon as the last traded price is 680, the exchange will execute your trade at the best available price. So actual stop loss is beyond control. Yes. I'll tell you one case that I had initially. I was planning to take a long in Britannia. Britannia was there. I had an initial stop loss of 2 rupees. 2 rupees का मेरा initial stop loss था। 2 rupees के हिसाब से मैंने 500 शेयर बाय किए थे उसमें, क्योंकि मुझे 1000 का रिस्क लेना था। जब वो मेरा स्टॉप लॉस हिट किया उसने, तो मुझे 4 रुपए का नेट नुकसान लगा। तो मुझे 1000 रुपए के बजाय 2000 का लॉस लगा। Why this happens? Because there was a significant difference between the bid price and the offer price. So you need to find out only those scripts which do not have significant bidder and offer difference. No, it was not due to gap down, it was an intraday trade. So intraday trade also there is a bidder offer difference, right? If there is a gap up or gap down, anyway you are going to suffer the loss, and that is beyond your control. But if it is happening during the market, then you have to be cautious when you're trading, and you need to be aware of the bidder offer difference which is there. So if the script is having such high bidder offer difference, like generally scripts above 2000 rupees, they have significant bidder offer difference. Yes, that is why it was there. So scripts trading above 1000 or 2000, you should avoid intraday trading, or you should only execute trades on 15-minute or higher, not lower than that. I was trying to execute a trade on 1-minute chart in that script. It was trading around 3500 at the time. Yes. So that is why this slippage is something which is beyond our control. Now, actually, there was a research paper produced by IIM Ahmedabad on this. It mentioned that it is actually because of poor servers utilized by NSE exchange and even our brokers. The servers there, they are not that great. They are not high functioning servers. In America, if you go, then this slippage is not there. In European markets, developed countries, stock exchanges, this slippage is not there. So it is something which is beyond your control. It is only have to do with the NSE servers or the exchange servers and your broker server. So if you have a good broker, then this may not happen. But at the same time, the end server, that is the exchange server, also needs to be working in that frequency. So that is not available in Indian market currently, and you have to live with it. So this is normal order plus cover order. Now comes the bracket order. Okay, so you have a zone, you have a supply zone, and you have an opposing demand zone. You have three things: entry, stop, and target. So here you have quantity as 100. You are looking to sell this because this is a supply zone to which the price is close to. It is coming to that level. This is 704. 0.15. The stop is 707, that is greater than the entry price because it is a sell order, and the target order is 680, 680.9. That is the opposite demand zone. So how I'm going to place the bracket orders? I'll put all these details here. Okay, quantity, limit price at which I want to execute that trade, trigger price is 0. You don't need to change that because anyway you have order, profit booking order and stop loss order in place. So once you place this kind of order, you don't have to monitor your trade anymore. Okay, you don't have to monitor your trade anymore. Entry is there, stop loss is there, and target is there. Now after getting the complete fill of this 1000 quantity, whichever is hit first, the stop loss order or the profit booking order, your trade will be executed at market. Again, at market. These are the trigger prices. Okay, these are trigger prices. As soon as the last traded price becomes 680.9, your trade will be executed at the best offer price. You are looking to buy, so your order needs to be matched against the best offer price. So best offer price may be a little above that. 680.95 हो सकता है, 681 भी हो सकता है best offer price. तो वहां पे भी आपको एक slippage लगेगा. So if you have planned for 3:1, you will not be getting exactly precisely 3:1. You may be getting something less than that. Okay. So if you have similarly, if the stop loss is hit, I just mentioned that there will be a slippage involved in that case as well. All right. So why are bracket orders very important? Now, personally, we will encourage all of you to use bracket orders wherever they are available. They are not available in commodities, so you have no choice other than to utilize normal plus cover order. But in equity, in cash, and as well as currently in futures, stock futures, you have this facility available. So you utilize that, you make full use of that. Now, why these bracket orders are important? These bracket orders are also important when it comes to intraday trading. Okay, and you're not in front of the screen and you place this bracket order. So there is one more facility available by your broker that if either of these two are not hit, so there is a chance that neither your stop loss is going to be hit nor your profit order is going to be hit. So in that case, your order will be auto squared off at market at 3:20 because at 3:30 the market closes. So it is generally the same for all the brokers: Zerodha, Sharekhan, HDFC Securities, ICICI Direct. Any broker that you go, he's going to provide this facility of bracket order. Okay, and he's going to auto square off your order if the profit order or stop loss order is not hit by closing. So he's going to do that by 3:20. So whatever best price is available, let's say it may be your stop loss is 707.45. The last traded price at 3:20 will be 706. Let's just assume that. So your order will be executed at 706. Any idea bracket order is available in Zerodha? Yes, Shivraji, it is available in Zerodha. As I said, it is majorly made available by all the brokers in Indian market because it is being widely used by intraday traders. Is it applicable for big trades only? No, not just for big trades. It is applicable for even investment type of trades. Okay, and this big trade and investment type of trade, it is specific to Sharekhan. And just similar to that, we have MIS order, the bracket order and the CNC order, that is cash and carry in Zerodha. So cash and carry is nothing but your investment type of trade, and bracket order is simply the bracket order which is there for intraday. It will be auto squared off at 3:20. So if you're placing this kind of order, for investment, okay, first of all, you cannot sell in cash in cash segment and carry that trade overnight. Now, how many of you are aware of this? That you cannot, or let's say how many of you are not aware of this? That you cannot sell in cash and carry that position overnight. If you're selling in cash, you need to square it off by closing. How many of you are aware of that? Okay. Only futures will have this option, definitely. Yes, you'll not be able to short it if you're not having that script. Otherwise you'll be able to short it, but you'll have to select the product type as investment, and there will be an option sell against margin, SAM. If you do not check that box, the order will not go through, firstly. Secondly, if you place that kind of order and it is not squared off by closing, then you'll have to purchase those shares in auction the next day. Okay, and auction price may be much higher than this. Apart from that, you'll be penalized by the exchange. All right. So can we convert a bracket buy order into CNC once buy is filled before 3:15? In Zerodha, that facility is not available for you to convert. Okay, but in Sharekhan it is. In Sharekhan it is, provided you have sufficient margin in your trading account. And anyway, a sell order cannot be converted into a sell big trade order cannot be converted into a normal order until and unless you have those shares with same quantity in your DP. Okay, why be penalized by the exchange unnecessarily? So always use bracket orders because that requires less monitoring. You already have these two order types in place. Once your order is completely filled, these order will go in the exchange, and if either of those are hit, you'll be out of the trade. All right. What is limit loss to? I'll be coming to that. Okay. But tell me, are you clear with the bracket order? Everyone clear with the bracket order? ब्रैकेट ऑर्डर कब से कब तक डाल सकते हैं? ब्रैकेट ऑर्डर आप देखिए, दो टाइप के ऑर्डर रहते हैं, एक तो आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर रहता है और एक लाइव मार्केट ऑर्डर रहता है। तो आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर ये ब्रोकर टू ब्रोकर डिफर करता है। जैसे मैं आपको शेरखान की बात करूं तो रात 11 बजे से 11 PM से लेके सुबह 8 बजे तक आप आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर डाल सकते हैं। तो आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर में आप क्या कर रहे हैं? आप सिंपली ये ब्रैकेट ऑर्डर प्लेस कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आप ये आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर प्लेस कर रहे हैं, तो आपका मार्जिन तो ब्लॉक हो जाएगा पर ऑर्डर भी चला जाएगा। ओके, एक्सचेंज के सर्वर में ये ऑर्डर चला जाएगा। तो जैसे ही 9:15 बजे मार्केट ओपन होता है, आपका अगर प्राइस आता है वो, तो आपका ऑर्डर प्लेस हो जाएगा। ये तो रहा आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर, इसको बोलते हैं AMO, आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर। ये कब प्लेस करते हैं? जब मार्केट चल नहीं रहा होता है। मार्केट कब से कब तक चलता है? 9:15 बजे से 3:30 बजे तक। तो उसके अलावा आप ये टाइम में प्लेस कर रहे हैं। अब ये जो टाइम है, ये ब्रोकर टू ब्रोकर अलग अलग समय पे रहता है। जैसे मुझे जीरोधा का इतना आइडिया नहीं है कि जीरोधा आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर कब अलाउ करता है। अगर लेट्स से वो सेम टाइम पे ही अलाउ करता है, रात 11 बजे से दूसरे दिन के सुबह 8 बजे तक, तो भी आप उसमें आफ्टर मार्केट ऑर्डर प्लेस कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, अब बात रही लाइव मार्केट की। लाइव मार्केट में आपका एनीवे आपका ऑर्डर 3:15 के बाद, जैसे वो लोग बोलते हैं कि 3:15 के बाद में आपका स्क्वायर ऑफ हो जाएगा, वो 3:20 3:25 तक में होता है। तो it is always best if you are placing an intraday trade. Okay, don't place an intraday bracket order after 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock के बाद में आप ब्रैकेट ऑर्डर तो मत ही डालिए। आपको ट्रेड करना है तो आप नॉर्मल ऑर्डर और कवर ऑर्डर लगा के ट्रेड कीजिए, पर आप ये इंश्योर कीजिए कि अगर आप सेल कर रहे हैं, बिग ट्रेड में सेल कर रहे हैं, तो आप उसको स्क्वायर ऑफ करके जाएं। 3:29 तक उसको स्क्वायर ऑफ कर दें, एक्स्ट्रा वेट ना करें। In Zerodha, I think you can place bracket order only after market opens. I'm not very sure on that. I'll get back to you on that, or you can contact your mentor also for that matter. After market order take placed price if gaps up. See, if the price is going to gap up, the best, let's say you are trying to place a sell order, okay, if you are trying to place a sell order. So, and this is an aftermarket order. Let's just assume that this is an aftermarket order. So if price is straight away opening at 705, okay, at 705, so your trade will be executed at that price because that is the best bid price available. You are offering your shares, the 1,000 shares, at the best bid price available. So it will be executed at 705 and you'll be in the trade at 705, and if price comes up and hits your stop loss, you'll be out of the trade also. So it is very risky to place aftermarket orders. Initially, I'll not recommend that you start placing aftermarket orders. Even if you are a working professional, you at least devote 5 to 10 minutes in the live market to place your orders, or you can simply call up your RM to do that. Or less chance of move in script after 315. No, there is a very high chance of a great move in the script after 315. I have seen that there are various cases, especially during the expiry, market is being manipulated by the institutions, and you see a lot of volatile moves because people who have gone short at the open. Okay, there are people who have gone short at the open, specifically at 9:15. They may be looking or covering their short by 3:29. There is a very high chance of that. So a lot of volatility will be there after 3 o'clock. A lot of volatility will be there because all of the traders who have gone long or short at the open, they are going to look for covering their position by closing. Intraday players I'm talking about. Along with that, there are STBT and BTST players. They are also going to come in and they are also going to place their orders. So a lot of volatility will be witnessed. But it is always wise not to place your intraday trades after 3 p.m. Don't place your intraday trades after that. Okay, till you are sufficiently experienced to handle that kind of volatility. अगर आप ये क्वार्टरली क्लोजिंग पे, जैसे अभी चल रहा है फरवरी, फर्स्ट क्वार्टर ये साल का होगा 31 मार्च में, 31 मार्च को आप 3 बजे बाद ऑब्जर्व करें कि कैसे कैसे स्क्रिप्ट्स कैसे कैसे मूव करती है और कितना कितना बड़ा बड़ा वॉल्यूम आता है. आप ये ऑब्जर्व कीजिए. नोट दिस डाउन दैट यू नीड टू ऑब्जर्व द स्क्रिप्ट्स विच आर हाईली लिक्विड, okay, which are highly liquid on 31st of March after 3:15. Okay, live market में you spend some time, okay, in front of the screen and you observe what kind of order is being traded and how volatile is the script. So everyone noted this? This is an exercise, a learning experience for you. So you contact us after that and we'll let you know why that happens. So people who are going to put that effort, only to those I'm going to tell why that happens. Why after the quarterly closing, or why after the on the expiry date, like next expiry is on 23rd February. 23rd February, last Thursday of this month, we have expiry. So you observe at 3:15. All right. So this is the bracket order. Then comes the trailing stop loss. Okay. So what is the trailing stop loss? Trailing stop loss is where you have a difference between your entry price and stop loss price. Now, if the current market price, after giving you the entry, see, after giving you the entry I'm talking about, if it is moving in your favor, the stop loss will also move in your favor. Okay. Let's say you bought particular script at 100, 95 is your stop loss. It goes up by 101 by 1 rupee. So your stop loss will increase by 1 rupee. It will be 96. So initially when you had expected to lose almost 5 rupees, now the cost price is 100, right? It will not change. But your stop loss, as soon as the market goes in your favor, this is a buy order. Now you're trailing your order. Okay, you're trailing your order. The stop loss price is 95 initially. Price moved up by 1 rupee. Okay, price 1 रुपए से आपके फेवर में चला. आपने बाय ऑर्डर प्लेस किया था, तो स्टॉप लॉस ऑर्डर भी 1 रुपए से आपके फेवर में आएगा. तो जो कि आप पहले 5 रुपए लूज करने का सोचा था आपने, कि मैक्सिमम मैं 5 रुपए लूज करूंगा, अब इस केस में आप 4 रुपए लूज करेंगे। तो ये टिक बाय टिक चलता है, एक टिक होता है 5 पैसे का, 1 tick size is 5 पैसा। So if after 100 that there is an increment by 1 tick, so your stop loss order will also increase by that much amount। So 95.05 का आपका stop loss हो जाएगा। I think there is no automatic way to manage this, it has to be done manually। No Pradeep Sharma ji, there is an automatic way to manage this। Okay, there is an automatic way to manage this। If you just simply place bracket plus trailing stop loss order, this will be done automatically। Yes, bracket plus trailing stop loss order। So before coming to the bracket plus trailing stop loss order, I wanted to give you that understanding like what is the trailing stop loss order। But अब अगर जैसे ये अब 1 रुपए बढ़ गया है आपके फेवर में और आपका स्टॉप लॉस आ गया है 96 पे, अब मानिए कि 1 रुपए से घट जाता है, 100 रुपीज पे आ जाता है वापस से, तो आपका स्टॉप लॉस नहीं घटेगा। ये आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे ये क्या हो रहा है, प्राइस नीचे आ रहा है लेकिन आपका स्टॉप लॉस वहीं का वहीं है, आपका स्टॉप लॉस वहीं का वहीं है। ओके, आपका स्टॉप लॉस वहीं रहेगा, वो नहीं घटेगा, वो बढ़ेगा, ऊपर आएगा, आपके फेवर में आएगा, but it will not go down। It will move in your favor, but it will not go down। It will not work against you। And why it is important? See why it is important. You may be looking for a big RR. You may be looking for a big RR, and sometimes you need to make use of this trailing stop loss order because there is a very high chance that the price can reverse simply from anywhere in between। Okay, it can reverse from anywhere in between, but if you use it wisely, you'll be making money, you'll not be losing money। ये गुड और बैड दोनों ही है नहीं, अगर आप इसको सही तरीके से यूज करते हैं तो ये बैड नहीं है बिल्कुल भी। मैं आपको वो समझाऊंगा कि ये कब यूज करना चाहिए और कैसे यूज करना चाहिए, उसकी बहुत क्लियर अंडरस्टैंडिंग मैं आपको दूंगा। सो एवरीवन क्लियर विद दिस, लाइक this is a buy stop loss buy trailing stop loss order। Similarly if you have sell trailing stop loss order, तो सेल के केस में जब से आपने स्टॉप लॉस प्लेस किया है 105 रुपए पे, 5 रुपए का स्टॉप लॉस है। So if it is moving in your favor by 1 rupee, the stop loss price will come down to 104। So initially you had expected to lose 5 rupees, now you'll be losing not more than 4 rupees। And it is going to work in your favor tick by tick। वो एक एक टिक से आपके फेवर में चलेगा क्योंकि प्राइस सीधा 1 रुपए ड्रॉप नहीं होता है, राइट, वो टिक बाय टिक चलता है। वो पहले 100 रुपए 5 पैसे आएगा, फिर 99.95 आएगा, फिर 99.9 आएगा, उसके बाद हो सकता है कि 99 पॉइंट सीधा 7 कर दे। ठीक है, तो 30 पैसा आपके फेवर में चला तो इसमें से आप 30 पैसा माइनस कीजिए तो दैट मेक्स इट 104.7, क्योंकि ये मार्केट रेट पे ट्रेल हो रहा है। ओके, देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन द टू। देयर इज वन काइंड ऑफ ऑर्डर ब्रैकेट प्लस ट्रेलिंग ऑर्डर बाय मार्केट एंड ब्रैकेट प्लस ट्रेलिंग एट अ स्पेसिफिक प्राइस। ठीक है, तो अब इसको मैं थोड़ा सा एनिमेटेड करके बताता हूं कि हाउ इट लुक्स लाइक। In theory, is everyone clear with this? How does the trailing stop loss order work? It moves in your favor, but it never goes against you। So let's say this is our demand zone, right? We want to take up, yes, I'll be coming to that, Gopakumar ji, thoda sa patience rakhiye, please। I'll be coming to that, don't worry, I'll address all of your queries। So this is my entry at the proximal line, stop loss few ticks below the distal line। Okay, let's assume that there is 10%, okay, 10% with respect to the current market price। Now what happens is price comes down to your entry level, okay, you take your entry, you will have to patiently wait for your zone to be tested, and then you are going to take a trade। Now when price arrives and touches the entry line, we are in the trade, we are long, we are in the trade। So now price moves in your favor immediately after that, in the next candle, that is a green candle, price moves in your favor. Now you're trailing your order at market. So let's say it moves by 5%. So 5% से आपका stop loss ऊपर आएगा और वो वहीं रहेगा, वो नीचे नहीं जाएगा stop loss. So when price moves up, stop loss also moves up. Stop loss price will also move up. Now what happens is prices move significantly in your favor. So stop loss price is now above your cost price. Your cost price was here. This was your cost price. Now can you see this, that this is the stop loss price and this is above the cost price? Cost price यानी कि जब आपने जो trade execute किया वो आपका cost price हुआ, right? So stop loss price is your stop loss level which is above the cost price, and therefore if it is hit, you still end up in profit, because this will become your selling price, and selling price if it is greater than the cost price, then you are in profit, right? That implies profit. Right? So what happens next? What happens next? The price moves up and stop loss also moves up. Now entry आपका, like entry here is actually it is depicting the current market price. So price moves down, but the stop loss remains exactly at that level. Price will move down and the stop loss line or the stop loss price, it will not change. It will only change in your favor. Okay, it will not go down. It does not move down. So what happens next? The price, the last traded price touches the stop loss line. Stop loss remains the same. Price moves down and hits the trailing stop loss. So you are out of the trade, but still you end up making money, because here you are selling at a higher rate above your cost price. So trade is exited and then you end up in profit. इस तरह से वो चलता है. Everyone clear with this? और ये ऑटोमेटिक होता है, ये ऑटोमेटिक होता है. इसमें आपको मैनुअल इंटरप्शन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप चाहें तो कर सकते हैं पर जरूरत नहीं है. As such, it is not required. So now comes the bracket plus trailing stop loss order. So now you have already got the understanding of what the trailing stop loss order is. So let's get into the details of what the bracket plus trailing stop loss order is. So we have two conditions to trail. One is at market and one is when price reaches a particular level. Okay, let's say you're entering in the same trade. Sell side, you have a profit book trigger price and you have stop loss trigger price, and you're trailing at market. So by one tick, if it is moving in your favor, let's say the last traded price after giving you the complete fill, it becomes 704.1. It moves in your favor by one tick, that is 5 paisa. So your stop loss, which here is 707.45, it is going to be now 707.4. And by every tick that the market is moving in your favor, it is going to come down. So if it is coming down by now 4 rupees, okay, by 4 rupees it is moving in your favor. So the stop loss price is also going to come down by that much amount. Okay, so this is now below your cost price. Okay, basically this is below your cost. This is actually your sell price as such, but it is below your limit price at which you execute the trade. But if it is moving up, let's say it moves up by 90 paisa, it moves up to 701. This will remain the same. It will not move up. It is going to continue in your favor, moving in your favor. Okay, it is not going to move up. Now, it may happen that it may come very close to it. It can come very close to it, but till the point this is not hit, you will not be out of the trade. You will not be out of the trade. Now, one thing is very clear, friends. One thing is very clear. if you are looking for small RR, let's say 1:1, 1.5:1, or 2:1, then this trailing stop loss order is of no use to you, right? This trailing stop loss order is of no use to you, because what may happen is if the zones, the opposing zone and the zone in which you're taking the trade, they are very close by, so that the maximum possible target is 2:1. So what may happen is price may become sideways in between that, and sooner or later your stop loss order will be hit if you are using this trailing stop loss method. Everyone agrees to this, or I think many of you must have experienced this. How many of you have experienced this, that your trailing stop loss order is hit and then price moves in your favor and gives you a complete target? Okay, I have not tried yet the trailing stop loss order. Okay. So how many of you have experienced this, that price hits your trailing stop loss order and then moves in your favor, it gives you complete target? I have personally experienced this, so that's why I'm saying that. I said, my question was, how many of you have experienced that with the trailing stop loss order along with the bracket order, you are in the trade, let's say you are looking for 2:1, your stop loss is 10 rupees, you're looking for 20 rupees, and what happens is you're trailing at market. You're trailing at market, tick by tick, it is going to move in your favor automatically. So you are doing that, and price, it moves in your favor by, let's say, 5 rupees, and then it reverses by 10 rupees, thereby hitting the stop loss and closing your position. With the example, okay, so I have an elaborate example when I'm going to discuss about trailing when price reaches a particular level. Okay, I have an elaborate example of that. So हेमंत जी, आपने एक्सपीरियंस किया है तो बहुत बुरा लगता है, राइट? आपने एनालिसिस सही किया है, फिर भी ये चल नहीं रहा है फेवर में, पैसा बन नहीं रहा है, या पैसा बना है लेकिन जितना बनना चाहिए उतना नहीं बना है. So that feeling is very bad. Right, it may happen in any of the scripts. Okay, ये आप ऑटोमेटिक्स ट्रेलिंग करें या मैनुअल ट्रेलिंग करें, ये किसी के भी साथ हो सकता है. पर ये आपको कब यूज करना है? यू नीड टू यूज दिस ओनली व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग फॉर बिगर आरआर, यू आर लुकिंग फॉर आरआर बियॉन्ड 3:1, and that is very much possible, friends. Believe me, that is very much possible. Once you complete this program, you'll yourself realize that even 10:1, 15:1 in intraday also is possible. Okay, it may be a big thing for you right now, but you yourself are going to realize that how phenomenally the levels are working, because you are able to identify the clean and crisp zones on the price chart from where the price is reversing and moving in your favor. You are trading that with very small stop loss. Like personally, I sometimes trade with stop losses even below 1 rupee. Okay, so if I'm trading with a stop loss of, let's say, 80 paisa and price moves in my favor by 8 rupees, and I'm making 10:1 like that. आपको यस, आप, मुझे पता है कि आप सब बहुत ही उत्सुक होंगे ट्रेड करने के लिए, पर आप थोड़ा पेशेंस रखिए. आपको जब तक थ्योरी सेशन पूरा हम डिलीवर नहीं कर देते हैं, तब तक आपको ट्रेड करने के लिए नहीं बोलेंगे, तो उतना आप पेशेंस रखिए. अगर आप आपके एग्जिस्टिंग नॉलेज पे ट्रेड कर रहे हैं तो आपको वैसा आरआर तो नहीं मिलेगा, पर आप आपके एग्जिस्टिंग नॉलेज पे, आपके रिस्क पे आप ट्रेड कर सकते हैं. हम पर्सनली आपको नहीं बोलेंगे दैट यू शुड बी ट्रेडिंग. I understand that you are very keen on that, but you need to have that patience. Okay, and this is applicable for all of you, friends. This is applicable for all of you. So I discussed a case where the trailing started at market. So tick by tick, if it is moving in your favor, the stop loss price is going to come down. In this case, it is going to come down. In case of a buy order, it is going to come up. It is going to move in your favor. Now there is a case when, now this is actually an interesting thing. Okay, so this is a case where the trailing starts at 700. So when price is already moved by 4 rupees 15 paisa, the trailing starts. So आप ये सोचेंगे कि ऐसा क्यों? You must be curious why are we giving a 4.15 rupees room for the price to start trading after that? Any guesses as to why is that? We should give some time to play price in our favor, but there is specific reason for that. Should avoid pushback. Now pushback may happen from where? You are very close, Pradeep Sharma ji. So pushback may happen from where? It may happen from an opposing zone, right? So let's understand what is going to happen. This is a particular price chart. Okay, I have drawn this in line chart. So can you see this, that I have this drop based drop. Okay, this big box is my higher time frame. So always price moves from a demand zone to a supply zone. You will agree to this, right? So higher time frame zone is going to cause that kind of price move, right? So if it is going up, it is going to create demand zones in between. Do you agree to this? The demand zones will be created if it is moving up. So I have marked these two demand zones. Let's say you take an entry here in the drop based drop depicted by that line, blue line. You place your stop loss few ticks above that zone. Okay, few ticks above that zone. Okay, it is above the distal line of your zone, drop based drop. You place your target. You're looking for a big target. Okay, there is an opposing zone very close by, but you based on your analysis, that zone may not hold good for longer period. That zone may not be powerful enough to take out your stop loss based on your analysis. So you have targeted the next fresh zone. Okay, next fresh zone. And based on this, you are probably targeting 5:1 kind of a trade. But you have an opposing zone in between, right? You have an opposing zone in between. So till that is taken out, till the opposing zone, which is very close to your entry price, is taken out, you should not start trailing, because what may happen is, as depicted in this, price may become sideways. It can give you multiple touches to your zone. Multiple times it may test your entry, and then it may move in your favor after that. So trailing stop loss when price reaches this level. This level is the distal line of that demand zone. ये वो distal line है उस demand zone का. तो जब ये ब्रीच होगा तो फिर तो प्राइस को यहां तक रोकने के लिए कुछ नहीं है, राइट? तो आप ट्रेडिंग स्टार्ट करें बिल्कुल. बीच में अगर इंस्टीट्यूशनल सेंटिमेंट चेंज होता है तो वो यहाँ पे डिमांड जोन बना के टेस्ट करके ऊपर आके आपका ट्रेडिंग स्टॉप लॉस खा सकता है. पर जब तक ये जोन ब्रीच नहीं होता है, विच इज डिपिक्टेड बाय दिस लाइन, यू नीड टू प्रोवाइड सम ब्रीदिंग रूम टू योर ट्रेड. So when to trail stop loss from a particular level? When there is a close by, a very close by level, which you think price can easily break. Okay, only then you're going to take a trade. Otherwise, your RR is not there, so you're not going to take a trade. So to provide breathing room to your trade, you are supposed to utilize this facility of bracket plus trailing stop loss when price reaches a particular level. In between, till the close by level is not broken, there may be multiple touches to your initial entry, or price can move deep inside your zone. The drop based drop price can move deep inside that before going in your favor. So that is something you can expect. So when you're looking for big targets, in this case, this is probably 4:5:1 or 6:1 kind of a trade. Okay. So when you're looking for such big targets, you're going to utilize this facility. You may utilize this facility. It is totally up to you. It is your personal choice. You may or you may not. But it is always wise to manage your risk properly. Okay. So this will be elaborately covered, how to manage your risk in the trade plan and risk management session. That is towards the end of this program. because then you'll be equipped with all the knowledge required to trade, and then you'll be able to handle you'll be in that position to understand when is the risk management required and why it is important. Does this make sense? ये आपको समझ आ रहा है कि बीच में एक लेवल है, इसीलिए मैंने उसके डिजिटल लाइन पे अपना प्राइस रखा है. तो इसका एक लॉजिक है, राइट? हमने ऐसे ही मन से ही कुछ भी नहीं पकड़ लिया, राइट? तो अब एक ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन, आई वांट टू आस्क वन ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन टू यू. Like in this example, when you start your trailing, let's say 3.3 rupees is your initial stop loss, right? 3.3 rupees is your initial stop loss, and you're starting your trailing at 700. So price needs to move in your favor by 4.15 rupees, right? So that makes the total as 7.45, right? अभी मुझे आप बताइए कि अगर आपका प्राइस 699 जाता है तो आपका ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस प्राइस क्या रहेगा? आपका ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस प्राइस क्या रहेगा अगर 699 जाता है तो? What will be your trailing stop loss price if price moves to a level which is at 699? What will be your trailing stop loss price? $702, only 1 rupees increase. Increase कैसे होगा? Price तो decrease होगा. It is a sell order, right? 702.3. Okay. Yes, it will decrease by 1 rupee. No. Initial stop loss price was 707.45 and the price is now at 699. So what will be, tell me the specific price, like Pradeep Sharma ji and Shivraj ji, they have mentioned. Okay, what will be the specific price? Price क्या रहेगा? Initially 707.45 था, अभी क्या रहेगा? Price आपके फेवर में almost 5 rupees 15 पैसे से आ चुका है, which is greater than this 3.3. So what will be your trading stop loss price? So those of you who are saying 702.3, you're wrong. The trailing stop loss price will be 706.45. I did this calculation for a purpose. This was your initial stop loss, right? And you had provided a buffer of 4.15 rupees, right? So that should be added together and that will be your net stop loss. So after price moves in your favor by 7.45 rupees, only then the trade will be at cost. The stop loss will be at cost. So if after moving in your favor, price comes back to, let's say, your cost price, now you are expecting that, okay, the stop loss price, the move has already happened, which is greater than the stop loss price, right? But it is not the case. The trailing is going to stop. The trailing is going to start tick by tick once the price reaches 700, and it is going to start. It is going to take a difference between these two. That is the stop loss price and your price reaches a particular level. So difference is 7.45, and that is your stop loss. But at any point, you're not going to lose anything which is beyond 707.45. But your cost will not be achieved till price moves in your favor by 7.45 rupees. Okay. So price needs to move in your favor by 7.45 rupees, only then the stop loss will be equivalent to your cost. All right. So if the price moves in my favor So I need to subtract 7.45 minus from 700. So that makes it 693. Then again 45 paisa. So 692.55. So 692.55, till that is not reached, your stop loss will always be greater than 704.15. Okay. If this is reached, then your stop loss will be almost equal to or less than your cost price. Now, if it is less than your cost price, then it is always best. Okay, you're not going to lose anything in that trade if at all the stop loss is hit. But this understanding you need to have the difference between the two. Yes, not current price. You have mentioned this when price reaches this level. The difference of the two will be taken into consideration, not the current price. So moving on. Okay, moving on. Now comes the GFD and my GTD orders. These are specific orders with Sharekhan. They are not available in Zerodha or any other broker. They are specific to Sharekhan. So just to explain you this, like limit loss to, Gopakumar ji had this query. What is limit loss to? Okay, so let's say you are in a swing trade. आप एक swing trade में हैं, तो आप बहुत बड़ा टारगेट देख रहे हैं, ठीक है? आप एक स्विंग ट्रेड में हैं, आप एक बहुत बड़ा टारगेट देख रहे हैं. तो GFD का मतलब है गुड फॉर द डे, गुड फॉर द डे. और माई GTD का मतलब है मेरे हिसाब से दी गई डेट, माई गुड टिल डेट. ठीक है? तो दो टाइप के ऑर्डर हैं, एक GFD और एक GTD. ठीक है, ये GFD है, तो इस ब्रैकेट ऑर्डर की वैलिडिटी जो है वो उसी दिन तक रहेगी जिस दिन आपने ऑर्डर प्लेस किया है, दूसरे दिन तक नहीं रहेगी. ठीक है, माई GTD ऑर्डर में मैं वैलिडिटी 30 डेज तक एक्सटेंड कर सकता हूं. आई कैन एक्सटेंड द वैलिडिटी ऑफ माई ब्रैकेट ऑर्डर फॉर नेक्स्ट 30 डेज. Okay, the profit order and the stop loss order will remain the same. That will be based on your zone, that is your demand zone, and then the limit loss to order is something what you need to place. Okay, if you're not placing that, the order will not go through, especially in case of my GTD orders. Why the system is asking for your limit loss to? Because there is a very high chance that price can simply no, I have moved on from that slide. If you are still facing that, then try to log in again. So there is a very high chance that price can simply gap down below your stop loss price. Initial trade was executed at 681.55. Now it is moving against you. It is around 590. Let's say your stop loss is 588.7 and last close is 590. Now, is there a chance that the price can simply gap down to 580 the next day? There is a chance of that, right? And this happened with me on 24th of August 2015 when there was a crash by 500 points in Nifty. I was long in Reliance and this happened with me. So had I not placed the limit loss to order, my loss would have kept on increasing. I will still be holding the trade and my loss will not be booked. So if I'm placing this order, then anything best price available. See, you are going long, right? So you need to sell in order to cover your losses. So that you are going to offer. So you're going to offer to the best bidder. You're going to offer to the best bidder. So best bid price between the stop loss price and limit loss to price, okay, is where your order will be executed if the stop loss price is triggered. if only your stop loss price is triggered. And this is for overnight position specifically, not for intraday position. You don't need to place this limit loss to for intraday. Okay, you don't need to place that. Even by not mentioning it, the system will still take your order. All right. So this is just for overnight trades. If price caps down below my limit loss to, then you have no other choice to actually exit that trade manually. You cancel your bracket order and you exit the trade at market. आप जीरो करके यहाँ डालिए, एग्जिट कीजिए. ये बाय किया है तो जीरो करके आप डालिए और एग्जिट कीजिए वो ट्रेड से. You have no other choice. But at least this much. So you need to keep sufficient difference. See, that point is actually a valid point. So you need to keep a sufficient difference between the two. You can put 500 also here. So there is a very less chance that price is going to continue its fall even after going down to 590, which was the last close. So it has to almost go down by 18%. 18 to 20%. Only then your 500 will be achieved, which is below the stop loss price. So there needs to be sufficient difference. You don't place limit loss to price very close to your stop loss price, because let's say the price is last close price is 590 and you place your limit loss to price as 585. Okay, very close to your stop loss price. And next day what happens is price caps down at 580. So price jumped this entire range. Price jumped this entire range and started trading at 580 and started tanking. So in that case, you'll be in this trade and the loss will not be cut short. All right. So you need to keep the DATR in mind. Yes, definitely DATR, एक DATR तक का आप limit loss to price रखिए. Okay. So this is what is the limit loss to, and these orders are specific to Sharekhan. They are not available with every broker. But just so that Sharekhan is actually used by retailers very frequently, I'm mentioning this. Everyone clear with this? GFD is good for the day. The validity of the trade will be just for that day, and my GTD is the date I am mentioning here. Okay, that is maximum possible date is 30 days from the date of execution. So till that date, the order will be valid, and it is only utilized for positional trading. Positional trading in cash. You will not be able to place this my GTD order in futures. You will not be able to place that. Overnight orders, even the aftermarket orders, are not allowed for futures and options. They are strictly not allowed by the exchange. Everyone clear with this? So I'll move on. All right. So now comes the homework part. So you practice the zone marking. Okay, you practice the zone marking. You mark the proximal line, distal line for all the zones, different kinds of zones. You try to find exceptional zones. Okay, that's how you'll get more clarity when it comes to zone marking. So you mark your entry types on zones as per different entry types with target the opposite level, and make notes describing your zones and why you have planned that entry type. Aggressive entry we have discussed, conservative entry we have discussed. The price action entry is something what we have not discussed. So you decide like week to week when are you taking the trade, and week to week when are you taking the trade. You just make notes on that. Why I'm saying that is towards the end of this program, you revisit those notes, you revisit all your homeworks, and you'll notice a great difference in your understanding. And then during the live market, observe the price action when price reaches your zone, okay, and prepare notes along with the charts, that is price when it arrives to your zone, before that, prior to your price arrival, and prior and after the reaction during the market. So you need to do this exercise on intraday charts, be it any chart, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, I don't care, but you need to do this. And you need to do this very clearly. You need to make notes on your charts. And just revisit of some zones. So let's say I am looking at this zone. Okay, can I call this as a zone for me? First of all, tell me, is this a zone? Is this having 3 elements of price structure between these 2 vertical lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 candles. Okay, sorry. Now is it visible? Okay. So between these 2 vertical lines, tell me, is there any zone? Are we having 3 elements of price structure here? We are having, right? Now, what is the, okay, rally base rally, perfect, very quick. So if I'm marking this zone wick to wick, I'll be covering this from this highest wick of the base, okay, which is the highest wick of the base, 720.98 or 724. So this is the highest one, or 723. So out of these three are my base candles. So this is the highest one. So I'll be marking my highest wick of the base and take it, drag it to the lowest wick of the base, and then release my button. So this is my zone. So when I'm trying to take an entry there, entry will be at the proximal line, since this is a demand zone. Okay, entry will be at the proximal line. Stop loss few ticks below the distal line. Okay, and target can be the opposite zone. This is the opposite zone, rally base drop, wick to wick. So am I getting the entry there? Am I getting the entry there? I got my entry, right? And what happened? My target is also achieved. So this is how you are supposed to mark your levels, prepare notes, why you're taking wick to wick entry, like what appeals to you by looking at the naked charts, just like that. Why you're taking a wick to wick entry, and why you're taking a body to wick entry, why you're becoming aggressive and why you're becoming conservative. And I want you to do this exercise in the live market. Okay, let's say this was the situation that time. So I'll prepare whether to take a body to wick entry or wick to wick entry, and then I look for opposite zone to target. And if I'm getting sufficient RR, I'll take a screenshot of this, okay, and put that in my PPT for homework. And then what happens after that, also the result of that. So you should be doing this on intraday time frame, specifically below 15 minutes, so that not much screen time is required. But you do this. So that brings us to the end of this session. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Please send us your valuable feedbacks. Be honest in your feedbacks. We want to deliver the best quality possible. So please write us your feedback. That communication should be there. We are not receiving feedbacks at all. So please write us feedbacks, and thank you very much. If you have any queries, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer it.